Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Forking Around Town podcast. This is your host, Tracy. And today I'm super excited because I am joined by Tammy Gail of Savor St. Pete, which is one of my absolute favorite events of the year. It's right around the corner. And if you guys live in the Tampa Bay area and have not been to this event, I highly suggest you get your tickets. We're going to talk about the event, and I promise this is something you don't want to miss. Well, Tammy, how are you?
Doing great. How are you, Tracy?
I'm doing wonderful. I feel like every time I talk to you, it's like a kid on Christmas. I know a really special event is right around the corner, so I'm excited.
We're in countdown mode. Once we hit October, that's like, it's like planning a wedding. So
It
you
is.
start to realize the reality of it's coming really fast, whether you're prepared or not. But thankfully, we've had a great year, a lot of planning, a lot of new stuff going on. And we're probably as excited as you and our other guests are to see the relaunch of this event because it is going to be so different.
Well, I'm excited. You got me even more excited. I didn't think that was even possible. I know, right? Just mention food and my eyes light up like a Christmas tree.
Well, we're super thrilled about a lot of new plans that we've made, and you've been with us. You've been a great supporter, and we certainly appreciate that. And we have many thousands of guests that are very loyal to Savor, and we're thrilled that this is our 11th year, believe it or not, between the original event, which was Uncorked back out
Yes.
on Clearwater Beach. And we had been through so much out there, including Hurricane Sandy, in one of our many years. I think it was about 40 degrees out on the beach after that horrible storm. But we all persevered and endured, and we had a bunch of fun. But the event has definitely elevated, and we're thrilled about that. So after last year, for those of your followers or your listeners who have been to the event, we really outgrew that space. As beautiful as downtown St. Pete is, and as great as Straw Park is, we just could not. We had to turn down a lot of partners that wanted to be involved, and we just couldn't. So we actually met with the city and we had conversations about where do we move. We had a few other cities that were interested in hosting us, but we really wanted to stay in St. Pete. So we took a walk and about maybe 3 blocks north up to Vinoy Park. And it's where some huge concerts go on. It holds about 10,000 or more people right on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to build the event, and we have, last year and in previous years we had 2 big tents in the park, and that pretty much was what we could do. VIP was open air because of all the beautiful trees in North Straw Park. You can't tent in there. So this year we have 4 giant tents that are going into Vinoy Park, and VIP will be tented. So God forbid there's inclement weather, anything crazy. And we've had everything that we've had, like a tsunami come up one year out on Clearwater Beach and almost took the tent down. Where we are now, oh, yes, we have had it all. But, you pivot, right? We've all
Right.
learned to be very, very good at pivoting. So this year we'll have some really big spaces, and our creme de la creme this year, in addition to what we've had in past years with all the food and of course with all the VIP spirits, we have our very first mixology experience lounge.
Wow.
And yeah, so this will be another tented space with cool furniture and a pop-up stage with mixology demonstrations going on all weekend. And that's part of the general admission ticket, which in the past, general admission did not have access to any spirits. This year, our very good friends and partners at Publix liquor stores and Moet Hennessy, so Moet Chandon, Hennessy, Belvedere Vodka are partnering. Oh, and Filthy Foods, which are the really cool marinated
Cherries.
olives and cherries,
Yes.
are all partnering to bring this mixology experience to our general admission ticket holders. So that's going to be going on all weekend long with a bunch of different mixologists that'll be teaching really, really cool cocktails for the holidays.
Oh gosh, that is exciting. Just when, talking about mixology and everything, I don't know if you remember, but see, last year I had started this alcohol-free journey, and I'm still on it.
Awesome.
I'm still on it. So last year, though, my friend who was with me, she loves anything like wines, spirits, you name it. So I got to kind of drink vicariously through her as we walked around, and 95% of my listeners, love anything like spirits, alcohol, wine, you name it. So it's very important to me to still stay up to date. I still bartend a lot of parties, so I like to always continuously work on my knowledge with, different types of spirits and wines and everything like that. But, it was a little different for me last year. I have to admit, I was like looking at all the sparkling wine, and I was just sitting there like, oh gosh, I really want a glass so bad. It was hard. It was hard.
Tracy, we connected with a company called St. Regis, which is based out of Canada, completely non-alcoholic wines, and they taste just like the real thing. No
Nice.
alcohol volume. Yep. So we have not had that before. We do listen to our audience, our attendees, whether it's vegan options, keto options, organic options, non-alcoholic options. And we're really trying to answer those requests with products that fit that particular complexion. And there are designated drivers. I mean, I used to drink a lot more. I'm a cancer survivor. And, one of the things that, for my medical purposes is exercise and really try not to drink so much. Mm-hmm. It's just, you're predisposed to certain things. And I went through a year of hell, and I try and maintain that. Like, I really am cautious. And of course we're working, so our team doesn't drink anyway, but I'm just like you when it comes to parties. I love bartending, and I love adding cool, fresh, ingredients and really making something special that people just go crazy over. So I think I think about it from like a baker's perspective. There are some phenomenal pastry chefs and bakers that are rail thin, and they taste. And that literally, like on the tip of their finger, they'll taste a batter or make sure there's enough vanilla, but they don't eat a plate of cupcakes or
Right.
pastries. And I think that's the same thing with alcohol. It's just like anything; it's kind of in moderation. But
Yeah.
we step back and we watch everybody else having a great time.
Yes,
We
that's
don't
what I do. Well, I'm excited because for me, I recently, as in just a few weeks ago, launched a new YouTube channel, and that's where I showcase a lot of my podcasts. But for the new year, I have some cooking and cocktail demos coming up. So I'll definitely definitely, spirits with alcohol will be included, as well as a mocktail series. So this event really is a lot of research for me. So I can't wait to just really be out there and connect with the different brands and just get inspiration for the new year and launching this new portion of my YouTube channel. So I'm excited about it.
Love it. And you know what? When you're there, we should also have you connect with some of the brand ambassadors for these brands, because maybe they can help you in your next series and your next venture, because they are really versed in those products. And it's always fun to hang out with somebody who does that for a living and teach you little tips and tricks. And that's what they're coming to our event for too.
Oh, that's fantastic. And absolutely. I also love the cooking demos. Those are another favorite of mine. And for those of you that are listening, this is just one of the many reasons you really want to go, because not only is it fun and you get to sample so many things, but it's so educational. And that's one of my favorite components of this event, is just the learning that I get from it.
That's excellent to know. I feel that way as well as you. And let's face it, that's why the Food Network is a multi-billion-dollar industry, as it took off. People enjoy watching entertaining other entertainers basically that are versed in their trade that can make it easy and comfortable and fun for the regular folk like us to do the same thing and have some fun with it and interview other people. We have really great, and I'm sure you've met Chef Rosanna and Chef Ricardo, our local rock stars, and Rosanna was on Food Network, and she actually beat Bobby Flay on his show. And he used her empanada recipe in his latest cookbook, which I think debuted like last October, right before our event. So
I have it.
that's awesome. And they're so much fun to talk to. But so Rosanna is more classically trained. I believe she's French trained chef. And Ricardo, her partner, in life and in business, is a classically trained pastry chef. And we have not really had a brand that wanted a trained pastry chef to do demos and work with them in their activation. Well, this year, timing worked out really well. And for those that bake and those that know really great ingredients, Nielsen Massey is one of the best extracts that you can use in baked goods. It just is. And cocktails. They have one of the finest vanillas. And, that's a big deal when there's a whole like cottage industry of making your own vanilla extract and steeping it in vodka and buying great vanilla beans. And I've been following some blogs also on that, and it's a really cool thing, and it brings like multiple layers to flavor when you're using a great extract. So Nielsen Massey is a great extract. Well, long story short, they contacted us and said, hey, we're interested, and it started from like a little idea of we want to hand out extracts at the event to, hey, let's partner you with Chef Ricardo and actually have some baking demos going on in the cooking stage and at their booth with how different things taste with this beautiful, really exotic types of vanillas. Mm-hmm. Well, we ended up having a conference call with, I think she's third or fourth generation, Beth Nielsen. So one of the owners of the company, because this is an older company that's been around for generations, she's coming in and she's going to work with Chef Ricardo, and she works with some of the top chefs in the world. And she'll be at her booth and she'll do a culinary demo. She's going to do, I believe, a cocktail using extracts instead of like flavored syrups, actually using extracts to bring out the depth of that. So I think you're going to love that. And plus it'll be, from a deliciousness perspective, Chef Ricardo is an incredible pastry chef, so it'll be really fun to see some cool pastries being made.
No, the two of them, I've actually known them for, gosh, I want to say going back to like 2011 or 2012, and they've been on the podcast before, and they're actually going to be on right before the event as well to talk about it. So yeah, they're fantastic, and just
great.
Yeah, these Nutella Ricardo knows how much I love Nutella, so he's always like teasing me with all these different pastries. So yeah.
Well, years ago we did have Nutella. I have to reach out to them and tell them that we have some fans and they need to come back in.
They do. Now, will Celsius be back?
Celsius will. Oh, they are not in this one. They're in our South Florida event.
Okay.
So we launched a South Florida event 3 years ago, and that's in the spring. So we do them 6 months apart. And Celsius is based in South Florida, so it's easy for them to get their whole team there.
Right.
We do have Alani Nu, and which is a female kind of based energy drink, and really delicious. And we have Body Armor, which is launching a whole line of the electrolyte powders. And I know you're a runner, so
Yes,
no, and zero sugar. So they're really tasty, and they've got no sugar. And a lot of them are great, and they do what they say they're going to do, but they're high in sugar content. So Body Armor is coming out with a whole new line. So for all the people who want to have a run in the morning so that they can eat what they want and indulge, we'll have some beverages for you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love Body Armor. I always have, a couple of bottles in my refrigerator. It's very essential with these long runs I do sometimes on the weekend. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
exciting.
You're going to be happy. So there's a little bit of ultra decadent, and there's some health, health oriented brands also, lots of organic and better for you brands. I think that consumers today, you want to be able to indulge. I mean, we go out, we love to go out for really nice meals, and moderation is a really big thing. I'll like you, Tracy, I love the education of wine. I don't drink just to, just get hammered. That's not fun for me anymore. Maybe in college that was a different story, but I'm older now, and I really have grown to appreciate complexities of flavors, pairings, and things like that. And when you pair a really nice wine, and it doesn't have to be uber expensive. I mean, yes, there are lots that are, but when you pair a really nice wine that's beautifully crafted, and how it's grown and where it's grown, and you pair it with a great meal, there's just something really special about that. It elevates your dining experience. And that's what we're trying to do, is educate people about why they like something and what they should be looking for, and why a white goes great with a fish, with seafood. What is it about it that brings out the taste of the seafood, so that when you're entertaining yourself, you can plan something that's, it's like charcuteries are super popular, right? They've been for the past few years. Everybody does charcuteries and looks for these great cheeses and awesome meats. Well, Boar's Head is going to do a massive installation at our event this year, pre-holiday, right? So they've got all the meats, they've got all the cheeses, and they themselves pair with certain wine brands that bring out the flavors of their charcuteries. And that's interesting, that there are reasons why something goes better even with a dessert, what pairs well with a dessert, and it could be a cocktail, and why you should prepare as an entertainer if you're really looking to create something that's a wow at your Thanksgiving or your Christmas. Do this. Like, this is going to enhance the flavor of your turkey or your side dishes. And it's neat. It really is a very total education. So we hope people do what you do, is come and sit and watch these demos and ask questions, and then go home and try it yourself, and become a quasi expert in certain things. And that even goes to your energy drinks and what makes your body perform better. You should ask those kinds of questions when you come out. These manufacturers and partners are there for that. They want to answer your questions.
Absolutely. In fact, a couple years ago, I was first introduced to Fit Vine wines from this event.
Oh, yeah.
And they're still, I love them, even though like I said, I haven't consumed any wine in over a year. They're just one of those brands that when I do go back to, after this big challenge is over, they would definitely be one of my go-tos. I learned so much from them, and just the story, and just they're better for you.
That's awesome.
That's really important to look at. Yeah,
it is. Health is a big deal, and eating things and drinking things in moderation is really important. And you can enjoy small tastes. I was reading something. I mean, I'm sure you read a lot now as you're doing your training, and after like the first or second bite of anything, your taste buds are kind of desensitized to it, so that overeating is more mental than it is really what you're tasting and you're consuming. And so your brain is allowing to take over, and you might not even need that thing. You just needed to taste it. And that, it just explodes in your mouth. And then that's enough. And, I think that's part of the health issues that we have here, is that people don't realize that their bodies are really finely tuned machines, and they don't need as much.
It's true. And it's funny. I actually compare an event like this to a marathon, because I'm all about just, finishing the race from start to finish. I don't try to be too fast. I'm not trying to be the fastest. I want to enjoy every moment. And that's what I do when I come in. I really, like, last year was so different for me not drinking than previous events, because I feel like, you have a good time, you get wrapped up in it, and then you're like, wait a minute, what was that one booth? Who had that product? So it's different for me now. And I will tell anyone listening, bring your camera will be your best friend, your phone, because take notes. I'm telling you, take notes, get people's cards, because I have like all the different products that I've discovered from this event. I'm still using them today. And I made some wonderful contacts over the years. And like I said, last year was just a game changer for me. I looked at it from a different perspective, and that's why this year I'm even more excited because I'm going to be doing a YouTube episode on this event. So I'm excited about it.
Awesome. That's so great. Thank you. That's great. Well, you will, I'm sure, have a ton of people to interview if that's what you're interested in, is just event goers, because it really is. And we've gotten such great feedback, and it makes us thrilled that the work that we put into it is being really well received. And we bring consumers together with items and restaurants and partners that might not normally have had exposure to this particular clientele. And I have a funny story. We had 2 years ago, I think maybe it was 3 years ago, right before COVID, we had Jaguar Land Rover at the event as one of our partners. And we had a Land Rover, and we had a beautiful Jag out there, and people were taking pictures and talking to the I guess their brand ambassadors out there. After the event, because it goes fast and furious, just like a wedding. It's you plan for a year, and then it's over in 2 days, over 4 hours each day, and you have some time to decompress. And we talk to every partner afterward to get their feedback and see what we can do better, or what they loved, and what do we keep doing, and how do we keep everybody happy and engaged. And Land Rover sold their vehicle at the event, which was, somebody came and wanted the car, and they'd liked everything that was in that vehicle and purchased it. So it is a beautiful crowd. It's a crowd that, just like you say, wants to be educated, and it's an elevated event. They are not afraid of any of the products. If something is fantastic, they want to buy it. They want to try it. And, that's just a really great marriage for our partners with our attendees. It is the right market. It's people who are very intrigued by new things. They want to be wowed. There's a tremendous number of photo opportunities at the event. As you know, there's all kinds of cool activations. And, it's just such a nice local, for people who live in the Bay Area. It's a great little staycation. We get lots of, interestingly, demographically, our demo is 2/3 female. And we find that mostly women like to just do girls' weekends. They'll book a room downtown St. Pete, play in the venue. The area is awesome, and it's so engaging for you to go out and find great food, great bars, great music, and museums if you're into that. The waterfront is gorgeous. It's great for a run or anything. It's just such a cool space that people come back year after year just to have their little vacation, and they make Savor part of that. That's their weekend. So we're thrilled about that, because it is a really cool space. The Vinoy recently, although they were open during all the remodeling, they've recently done their launch of grand opening, and it is spectacular. And they have, I think, 3 new restaurants on the property, and they're all going to be involved in Savor. So we'll get to see their new restaurant, the new chefs, what their offerings are. I know they told me they have a French patisserie at the hotel, so I think that will be part of it. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun surprises for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm so excited. It's going to be great. So now for those listening, and I'll definitely add a link on this video so you can just, you can see where to go for tickets. But what right now, how is the event close to being sold out for VIP and all those kinds of details? Yeah, because I know it goes quickly. You got to act fast.
It does. So we are sold out of VIP on Saturday. We sold out in 13 days as soon as we put those tickets live. I think people realize that the cost of that ticket with what you get and the amount of, in this, at least in the premium spirits side, it's well worth that ticket price. So people do buy them right away. Sunday, we have, I think there's 100 tickets left for VIP. And then after that sells out, we're completely general admission. But, I do stress that with the addition now of the Mixology Lounge and the 2 huge tents, last year we had, or in previous years, we had one big tent and one smaller tent for food, beer, and wine. This year, we just had too many. So, and we had the space, which was why we moved. So we were able to do two giant tents for all the food, the cooking stage. There's music throughout the weekend. It's very entertaining. And we also are launching, and this is so cool because we have the space. We have a lot of really neat vendor providers, our partners, that had mobile units, so mobile activations that we just we couldn't put in the space. So this year we have a new client of ours is Colavita Olive Oil, and Colavita is owned by a generational family in Italy. They are authentic, and they launched a mobile pizza truck. And they will be making authentic Italian pizzas on the truck using Colavita olive oil and all fresh ingredients for the weekend. So just the smells, the fragrances that'll be coming out of, we've got Cabot cheese, and I think they might be doing gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches from their vehicle. They've got a mobile vehicle also. So there are a number of mobile vehicles that'll be doing cool. They're just too big to put them under the tents. So we just have them out in this space of, it's kind of our food truck rally, but it's not really a food truck rally. It's just dedicated promotional vehicles that they have picked certain cities throughout the country to go on tour, and they wanted to be a part of Savor, so they put us as part of their national tour. So yeah, so we've got some cool stuff that we're unveiling this year.
Just a side note, Cabot Cheese, I thank them for introducing me to running, because I was at an event back in 2017 here in Tampa at the Epicurean Hotel, and we got to spend the day with the team from Cabot Cheese, and they gave all of us an entry to the Publix Distance Classic, and you got to choose whatever you wanted. So I just did a 5K, no big deal. I thought, well, I'm not a runner. That day changed my life. And after that race, I began doing every weekend. I did a 5K and then moved on to 10K. And then eventually that same year did my very first half marathon. So I can't wait to see them. They're very special to me.
Awesome. That's so great. Great story. We just did, I'm a breast cancer survivor. So we did a 5K over the weekend in Orlando. It's called Pink in Paradise. And it was in celebration. And I had my daughters join me. And yes, so I totally feel that it's all about balance, right? It's being able to do beautiful things and eat great food and drink awesome cocktails and wines, and then take care of your temple, which is your body, and treat it the way it needs to be treated. And then have the treats in between and keep them as treats. And that's what we do. That's what we try and encourage. But yet showing really great product that is good for you and good for your body. And even if it's a little decadent, it's still really well made. And, it's a premium product. So if you're going to put something in your body that's decadent, make it something good. Don't just
Exactly.
shovel potato chips in your mouth. And, God bless potato chips, but there's a lot of alternative options now that are better for you.
I'm a big fan of kale chips. I make them all the time and at home.
Yeah.
So those are easy and delicious.
That's awesome.
Great with the Colavita olive oil.
Okay. And there you go. I mean, I just think people need to know how, and they're intimidated if they don't. So it looks like it's too fancy or it's too many steps, and it's really not. And chefs are amazing. I've learned some of my best tips and tricks on how to prepare a steak for meat eaters. And you have to leave it out for 20 minutes to just breathe out of the refrigerator before you even prep it. Just leave it alone. And that's how, a Morton's Steakhouse treats their beef. They do the same thing. They just leave it alone and let it, come to room temperature before they throw it on a grill. I never knew that. We just took it out of the refrigerator. You're always trained, leave meat around and you don't, leave it at room temperature. But certain meats, it's necessary to do that to get the best flavor out of. So again, I think those are great tips and tricks on how to work with herbs and spices. And I used to have herbs in my cabinet for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And the public chefs told me 6 months, even if you haven't used it, dump it, because they just don't provide the same flavor that they did when they were freshly dried and cut and put into the packaging. They start to lose their flavor, and you're losing it in your prepared foods. So like now I'm on top of those things, and I never would have known that had a chef not told me that.
Awesome. Yeah, no, there's so many things to learn. And,
Yes.
an idea that I came up with last year, and I'm going to go ahead and do it this year, is I was thinking to myself, I'm meeting all these different brands, I'm getting little samples, I'm connecting with people, but how many people are guilty of this? You go to an event, you bring home your bag of goodies, and then you just eat them, but you don't really, you might see them in the store. This year, I'm going to go ahead and showcase each product from the event in some way on social media, whether it be a recipe or just quick little put together. So this is, like I said, this is going to be a very different event for me this year, because I'm going to be really doing a lot from this event
Oh,
after. So
that's awesome.
I'm
Thank you for that.
excited.
And there are a lot of brands that, from what we've discussed with them, that are doing QR codes with recipes that you've eaten at the event that you
Yep.
can download right away, zip it, and you snap the picture, and you've got your recipe, and then you can try it. And again, the event is the first weekend in November, so there's like 3 weeks before the holiday season kicks off officially, where you can play around and try certain things, see what works, see what doesn't. But I can tell you that Chef Rosanna is making some really cool side dishes that will kind of turn stuffing on its ear as a means to do something else. And stuffing is just so heavy, and it's traditional and it's yummy, but there's other things that don't have to load you down, where you just feel miserable after you have your holiday meal and then for days afterwards. So we're just trying to come up with, building a better mousetrap and satisfying people's palate, and yet still making it better for you, so that you don't feel like you just swallowed a rock. That's the worst.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to just see if you could share just little bits of information as to where people can buy tickets, which I will share the links and everything. But just for those who
Sure.
might just be listening to the audio portion of this, where to follow you on social media, where to, just your website, all those good little fun things.
Absolutely. So the website for St. Pete is Savor the Berg. So it's SAVORTHEBURG, which is, that's the hip way you call Savor St. or
Right.
St. Petersburg the Berg. So Savor the Berg, link the website, and has all of the ticket information. There is a fact, a Q&A area that you want to check on, because it does give a lot of information. Obviously, unfortunately, in today's day, we're always cautious about safety, very, very cautious about safety. Large purses are not allowed in the event. We do have security that'll be checking bags. Just like when you go to, Disney or any of the theme parks, just bring something light. You don't want to be weighted down anyway. It's just too much. If it gets hot out, it's really annoying to have a big purse. No coolers, no chairs, the drill.
Yeah.
Come in, and the attire, that's the other thing, is no short shorts, no bathing suits. We really want this to be like you're out on a vacation. You're somewhere in the islands, and it's a resort casual event. Obviously, you can wear shorts that are nicer, no ripped up jeans. It's just that everybody wants to go away and feel like they're having this really special moment together. And we've had just a beautiful, beautiful audience in the past, and we want to continue that. And it's great in photos. You'll love your photos because you'll look so great. So dress fashionably, but not too heavily, because it will be probably warm. Although I just read something that it might be a colder winter. So hopefully we get a little bit of a snap of cooler weather. But generally in the afternoon, it does get a little bit warmer. Social media, I don't know, because Jeanette in my office handles that. But we do have on the website, it'll have all of our
Everything.
handles. Yes.
Oh, no
So
problem. No
we have
problem.
Instagram, we have Facebook, of course. We are Savor St. Pete on Instagram and on Facebook. I think there's a discount code for general admission right now on Facebook and on Instagram, but I would suggest go check it out and search for that. As we get closer week by week, the discount goes down
Right.
until there is no more discount.
Okay.
By probably the last week of October is no more discounts. So I would recommend that. I do also want to say that in mid-October, October 16th, Publix will have their liquor stores and their grocery stores will have a lot of display in the stores, or in almost 200 stores throughout Central Florida. And there'll be booklets with coupons
Yes.
on all of the products that we are having at the event. But there's also a $15 off coupon code in those booklets, in the inside front of the booklet. So definitely look for those, because I believe that's the deepest discount that we even have.
Okay.
And that's on GA tickets. Those are not good on VIP. But I think
Okay.
by the time they come out, we probably will be out of VIP in any case. So I do recommend bringing a friend, somebody who's going to have fun at the event with you when you come out. We have groups of people that bring, like, couples, like they just travel. They're either local or they have friends that come in from other markets. It's a really cool weekend, and tying into what St. Pete offers, if you've never been before, it's an incredible market. It's a great little big town. It's got a little bit of everything. So
It really
we
does.
highly recommend that also.
Awesome. And for those of you that are just listening to the audio portion of this, if you go to my Instagram, which is Tracy Forks Around Town, I have a link in the bio section that will take you right to their website, and I'll be sharing the little booklets. Every time they come out at Publix, I always do a story, and I'll be sharing a lot about this event leading up to the weekend of the event. So you'll get all the info from me.
That's great.
Well, Tammy, I really appreciate you taking the time. You're always such a pleasure to talk to, and I can't wait to see you in a few weeks. It's going to be exciting.
You need to track me down,
I
Tracy,
will.
because I'm a moving target at that
I
thing.
know,
But
I know. It's like, there she
we have
is.
a
No,
lot.
she's there. You're like
I
a pinball.
Totally like a pinball. And for those of you that wear like Apple Watches, track how many steps you
Yes,
take this year, because we are always blown away by the end of the weekend at how much we've walked. And now we've got, I think this park is 3 times the size of the
it
other
is.
one that we were in. So you'll be getting your steps. So consider that a little bit of a burn of calories to make some room for more indulgence. So we did that as a gift for everybody. You
Yes.
get some
Oh, I
extra
love it.
steps.
Perfect. So you can eat more, right?
Eat more, eat and drink more.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, yes, Tammy, thank you again. And everybody, thank you for listening. I'm telling you, get your tickets to this event while you still can. You do not want to miss it. Even if you live down in like Fort Myers or Naples, this is definitely worth coming up and staying the night for in St. Petersburg. It's a beautiful weekend. I promise you, once you go one time, it's going to become part of your yearly events. It's just, I have no words for how much I love it. So
Thank you, Tracy.
you're
That's great. We love
welcome.
having you. Thank you for being a fan, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. And good luck with your continued training.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. And I'll definitely talk to you soon.
Okay, you take
All
care.
right.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Bye now.
And bye. And thanks, everybody. Don't forget, a new episode of Forking Around Town comes out every Friday on radioinfluence.com or wherever else you like to download and listen to your favorite podcasts.